Hey, what's up, guys and gals? What If Typhlosion here, back with another What If, and this will be part 3 to what if female Deku had a night. Well, one second. First off, do that. What if female Deku could summon the nightmares from FNAF 4, Part 3? Now, we left off with, her choosing to go to, I believe I said Hawks. So, we'll fast forward a few days to where, they're about to get ready for their, internships or work studies. Now, as Izumi is standing alone off to the side, waiting for the train she needs to come by, Tokoyami and Sue walk up to her and they chat for a little bit until they chat until hold on. They chat until Sue has to go, and then Tokoyami goes as Izumi is the last one to go, and she gets onto a train and heads off to Hawks's internship. So, when Izumi gets there, she introduces herself to Hawks, as he does the same to her, as he notices she has a bit of a cold personality, but not cold enough to where it warrants concern. So, they get to know each other as Hawks then tells her to get changed into her quote-unquote hero suit. Now, her hero suit will be similar to what Izuku wears in canon, but more black and blue than anything else, since Izumi likes Nightmare Bonnie. She decided to go with black and blue for her hero costume. Now, as they go around, Hawks asks Izumi if he can see her summon up close in person. Izumi deciding to humor him, calls out Nightmare in his more shadow-like form, so she doesn't arouse his suspicions. Now, they go and he looks at Nightmare as he then asks her about Nightmare. Like, what can you do? What's the limitation? So on and so forth. She's gladly giving it to him, thinking nothing about it, since it really wouldn't be detrimental to her if she was exposed these weaknesses or strengths. She doesn't really use Nightmare that much, so she doesn't know the full extent of his power. Now, that being said, she does treat Nightmare like she would any other of the nightmares, as she just doesn't use him as often as the original four. Now, that being the case, they continue going around, and they do this for basically every day of the work study, until one day Hawks decides to quote unquote expand their little route and go to Hosu City. Izumi, not really caring, says sure, as when they get there, Hosu City is on fire. As Hawks tells Izumi to help any civilians she sees, and so on and so forth. She does this just to keep up her hero act, but she is really annoyed by having to help people. So she does what she's told, as she then runs into an alleyway after hearing a bit of a scuffle and wanting to see what exactly was causing that scuffle. As she does, she sees Ida on the ground and Stain in right above him, ready to strike him down. Stain pauses for a moment, but because he realizes someone else is there, as he looks up and just see a black and blue bunny. Now, the only one he remembers seeing in a black and blue, or with black and blue bunny, would be the Nightmare Bunny, as he instinctively says, "Nightmare Bunny?" Izumi, not wanting to give away her identity, but also wanting to talk with Stain for a little bit, since he is, quote, very elusive, says, "Yep, that's me." As Stain then retorts with, "What the heck are you wearing? That's not your usual outfit." Izumi chuckling a bit and saying, "Well, I am currently going to the hero school," as this gets a laugh out of Stain. Stain, honestly not knowing what to do, but thinks she's just joking around and decided to put on a different suit. But when he sees that she has a serious face, he knows she isn't joking. Now, when he looks back at her, he says this: "You aren't joking, are you?" She shakes her head, as Stain then says, "What the heck are you doing at hero school?" Izumi, not honestly caring at this point, says, just wanted to see what I could and couldn't get away with. And looks like I could get away with entering a hero school. Stain, chuckling at this, then says, "Well, I would love to chat some more, but if you couldn't see, I'm in the middle of something." Izumi nods, saying, "Yeah, I can see. But do you think you can leave him alive for me?" Stain, tilting his head, wanting to know her reasoning for asking him to keep Ida alive, she then just says, "He could be useful to me in the future." Stain, knowing not to mess with the Nightmare Bunny, as she does stuff on a whim, says, "Alright, sure. But if you cause me any trouble in the future, just know I'm coming for your head." Izumi, already knowing this, says, Yeah, get going, old man." Stain, pausing at this as he looks at her and says, "What you call me?" She says, "I said, old man." As they then go off into a verbal fight. Now, while all of this is happening, Ida and the other hero that are there are just stunned. Stunned for one. Ida is stunned because his newest classmate just so happened to be the Devil Bunny. Or Nightmare Bunny, my bad. Nightmare Bunny that everyone has been talking about. And two, she is chatting with Stain the Hero Killer like they were best friends. Now, for the hero, he's stunned because he just heard that a villain had gotten into a hero school fairly easily, as the only hero school he knows about that's around here is UA. So, as all this is going on, they soon end their bickering as Stain looks at the hero and says, "I'll leave the kid, but him, he has to go." Izumi, not really giving a fuck. Whoops, my bad. Not really caring. She just says, "I don't care. Do what you want. But leave the kid." As Stain then walks up to the hero, and then he kills him. Ida, being in utter shock and not able to do anything, just looks on at this in horror, as he just witnessed the murder of a hero and a child looking at it like it was nothing, or something you've seen every single day. Which she has. I mean, heck, she doesn't even restrain her nightmare animatronics. Of course she would see death and destruction. Heck, if she wasn't this chilled out about death, I would be afraid of her. And back into the story. They then head toward. Stain then leaves after he gives Izumi a way to contact him, just in case she ever needed his help or if he ever needed hers. Izumi agreeing because she sees this as an opportunity to get a secret card or trump card, as well as an assassin to help her do whatever she wants. She just smiles and takes it. As she then walks to Ida and looks him dead in the eyes and then says, "Tell anyone about this and you're dead. So will your brother. So keep it hush." Ida, not knowing what to do, just nods his head as he doesn't want to die and he doesn't want to be the cause for his brother's death. But he has to find a way to tell the teachers one way or another. As Izumi then grabs Ida and helps him up and drags him out of the owl, or yeah. So she drags him out and yells for a hero to come and help. As she puts on the act again, scaring Ida again with how quick she can change her personality. As she explains what happened and that the hero killer was back there, but he got away after he killed another hero, as she got there too late to stop him. But she got there just soon enough so he couldn't kill Ida. Quote unquote, couldn't kill Ida. As the heroes buy this, and they take Ida to the hospital. Now, everything else happens as in canon, except for the Todoroki, Izumi, and Ida all being in the hospital. It's just going to be Izumi and Ida. As Izumi is looking at Ida with a great big grin, as she says, "If you keep my secret, you'll live a long life. But if you decide to tell class prez, you'll be a goner. Ida, knowing the consequences at this point, nods his head and just tries to not look towards her at all, as he doesn't even want to deal with her at this point. Now, this all being said, a few days go by as everyone goes back to school and no one has been told about Ida's encounterment with the hero killer. Well, heck, even with him being stuck in a room with the nightmare bunny, but no one knew that except for him. As the days go on as normal, and they're told a few days later that they'll be having a summer training camp. Izumi, being piqued by this, then asks Aizawa what exactly will they be doing at the training camp. Aizawa looking at Izumi with suspicious eyes, but not really being able to do anything, just says that they're going to the training camp to hone their skills, and that it will be done over the spring break, or whatever. What was the break that they were given? I'm not too sure. But over for about a week. She nods and lets the other students ask their questions and so on and so forth. As the day goes on, and when she gets back to her home, she sees Toga running towards her, as she then leaps and tackles her to the ground and kissing her. Izumi, not being quite ready for a tackle, hug, and then a kiss from her newly found girlfriend, looks at her and says, what's... Toga's feeling that there's nothing wrong. She then asks Izumi how her day has been. Izumi says boring and disgusting, with Toga just laughing it off. As they then head to Izumi's room, as Izumi, after the door closes, Izumi starts to take off her top and goes through her closet for a different shirt. Toga, not really paying attention at this point, then looks over to see Izumi topless with only a bra on, as she then blushes and asks Izumi what exactly is she doing. Izumi giggling and says and saying that she's just getting changed. As Toga says, I can see that, but why are you doing it while I'm here? Izumi just shrugging her shoulders and saying, what? I can't change with my lovely girlfriend watching me? This gets Toga to blush even more. She is now in the fetal position, blushing as hard as she can. And this gets a laugh out of Izumi. As as they then head out into as they head out into oh, my bad. As Izumi then gets dressed, but not before having a last jab at Toga by walking over to her, putting her hands, her boobs right in between her arms to accentuate them, bending down and looking at Toga as she says, "Babe, are you alright?" Toga looking up at Izumi, not really expecting her to be doing anything, then just gets a face full of Izumi's breast as she just blushes even more, and then gets a nosebleed. Izumi getting a chuckle out of this, then decides to quit teasing her girlfriend and decides to help her up, saying that she's sorry for teasing her like this. Toga says that she better be, as that was not fair and that she was cheating. Izumi, not really caring, just says all fair in war, love and war. Toga not really buying it, saying yeah. As she then kisses Izumi, catching her off guard. But she kisses back with the exact same enthusiasm as Toga does. I'm cut that short, as y'all can use y'all's imagination for what happens for about 2 to 3 hours in that room. Oh, and no, Dabi is not there, so he is unaware of anything that is happening. Now, as a few hours pass, Dabi gets home and he sees Izumi on the couch with a satisfied smile and asks her what exactly did she do. Izumi looking at Dabi with an innocent face and says, "Whatever do you mean?" Dabi, worried for what might have happened to Toga, then asks Izumi, "Where's Toga?" Izumi says that Toga's in her room dead asleep. Dabi heading to Toga's room just to check and make sure that Izumi isn't lying. When he opens up the door after knocking for a few times, sees that Toga is indeed asleep in her bed, but she's also in the nude, which Dabi then shuts the door, with Izumi being behind him, smirking, saying, "Did you just take a peek at my girlfriend?" Dabi jumping back, saying, "No." As Izumi giggles and says, "Good. Now, run along." As she goes, and as Dabi then leaves, not wanting to piss off the literal demon right in front of him. As we will skip to a few days later, to where we'll skip a few days later to when the training camp is supposed to be. But actually, I'll stop it right here. Yeah. I'm gonna stop it right here. So, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, and catch y'all next time.